right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our Winning Mondays, another episode where we start the week off to help support agents in our organization to kind of prepare them for this week in their journey of their business. Now, we are entering the last 3 weeks, I believe. Am I right? The last 3 weeks of the year in 2021. Put in the chat box, what were some of the things that you have achieved in 2021? Any small things. It could be something simple, something small, something big. Oh, I sold my first house. Oh, I sold 10 transactions, or whatever it is. What is those things that you have achieved in your own journey, in your business in 2021? What are some of the small things? It doesn't have to be very big. It could be something very small. Put in the chat box, what are some of the things that you felt that you have achieved in your business in 2021? Okay, let's put in the chat box. Let's start the morning with something positive to be grateful for. What have you achieved? What have some of the things that you have achieved in 2021? Done two rentals in the last 2 weeks. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Sugu. What else? Anybody else? What are some of the things that you have achieved? Something small or something big or whatever that you have achieved in 2021 so far. 200 hours in coaching. Awesome, man. Sorry, this is real estate coaching, not bicycle coaching, just to confirm. William, okay, I managed to pay off my housing loan early December this year. Awesome. That's powerful. I like that, Susan. Right. What else? What are some of the things that you have achieved in the year of 2021? Right. As come to the end of the year, what are some of the small things, big things, medium things? Joining Real Family, awesome, man. That's an achievement. Team, that's an achievement for us to have you inside here as well. Thank you for sharing that, team. Right. What else? Anyone else? Double sales and rental in just 4 weeks with KW Malaysia. Awesome, Francis. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that sharing. What else? What are some things that you have achieved in the year 2021 that you are grateful for? What? Achieve cappers on the 3rd month after September. Wow, awesome, Noreen. Noreen cap third month after September. So September, October, November lah. November cap lah. Right, awesome. What else? Who else? Anyone else? Anything else to share about your achievement? Joining with you, the best decision I made. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Awesome. We are happy that you are here as well. What else? What are some of the things that you have achieved in 2021 that you are proud of, that you are grateful for? Small, big, medium, large. Be a tech-enabled agent. Absolutely, yes. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Winnie. What else? Right, as we progress through the whole day, keep thinking about asking yourself this question, make it as a reflection question to all of us as we journey towards the end of 2021. It's important for us to understand which part of our business have progressed, and there are definitely certain things that we have progressed. We just need to inspect it. And sometimes it's too small, sometimes it's too big, but it doesn't really matter. It's good to reflect and ask yourself this question: what have you progressed? What has improved? Maybe joining this call every Monday, it's a progression for you. Maybe the ability to connect online like this on Zoom, it's a progress for you. So don't be underestimated. Don't underestimate and don't sell yourself short for any progress that you have become. In this journey, as 2021 is one of the toughest year, I believe, in the real estate business, in business. Personally, for me, in business, is one of the toughest year ever, as we have a lot of uncertainty, a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges. So be proud of what you have achieved, even though it's small baby steps. It is still important for you to have that mindset of taking small steps and moving to progression. Well, this morning, I will not waste time anymore. We have two guests. Ashlynn, Wong, and Siewmin here. I don't know how to. I always call Choong Siewmin, but we have to call Choong Siewmin, so I always call Siewmin, right? Also known as Alice. Sometimes I don't know why people call it Alice. But anyway, Siewmin and Ashlynn is here today to join us. But I wanted them to kind of introduce themselves and also to kind of share with us what is their role. Some of us may not know them, especially the newer ones that have just joined our organization. You may not be aware of their existence, or sometimes may not be aware of their roles that they're playing. You might have heard of their name, but you don't know their roles. So I'm going to pass the time to Siewmin and Ashlynn to kind of introduce themselves and share with us what do you all do on actually.
I'll go first, Ash.
Right.
Hi everyone. Good morning. I just want to start off saying by It's been a great journey with being here with KW Williams. I have been with KW Williams since the beginning of time. So for Richfield transition to KW Williams, and that my role mainly is to work with the KW Williams worldwide family. So I think you might also have heard of us saying worldwide. What is that, right? Worldwide is basically the KW Williams part in the US side that takes care of all the regions outside of US and Canada. So they are the point person that we work with. And in the technology realm, that means I'm working with them to labs. We go through this process called labbing, whereby we bring in the technology. A lot of people say, hey, the technology are more US, not localized. We actually go through a process to make sure that the features that comes in is localized in the sense that it's relevant for our Malaysian market. So I guess if you were also there, like since the beginning of time, you'll realize that we started with 1 or 2 features on command. And then now you have like 10 features, and then you have a command mobile app. So it has grown because there has always been like all this feedback that we hear from you, we pass it back. And that we are constantly working on new features, new updates. So my main role is that rolling out new features here in Malaysia for all of you guys.
All right, thanks, Siewmin. Good morning, everyone. So I'm Ashlynn, and I work very closely. I'm part of the tech team, so I work very closely with Siewmin and also Marcus in the area of tech, where my role mainly is to drive the adoption of KW command and also the entire KW technology within our agents. I mainly deal a lot with our internal agents and also external agent as well. So for example, we conduct KWXP on a weekly basis. There are times where we have it almost every day or every other day. So I'll be doing a lot of demonstrating how command has been helping me in my business as well. At the same time, I also work very closely with Charles in the area of growth of the company, where to look for talent to join us, to be part of us.
Right. I just wanted them to share their roles, because in order for you to be a technology company in this era, you don't just have the technology that you build together, but you need that the team to drive the adoption and the understanding and how to use the technology in a way that is meaningful. And these are the part of the team, and Siewmin and Ashlynn is part of those team that we are in the process of expanding this technology team as well. In fact, Siewmin was one of the first few people that joined us for the first time in the US to explore KW Williams. She was part of the first rombongan in Malay. It's called rombongan Malay. In English, I can't find that word suddenly. That when 5 of us went to the US and kind of understand and study the troopers, troop that went, and the delegation. Thank you, Rita, for the convoy. Okay, suddenly you're teaching me a lot of English words this morning. Thank you. To kind of understand KW Williams in 2019. And she was there when she was 5 months pregnant with us. So I remember, yes, it was very exciting and very eventful that trip. So this is the 2 of them is part of the technology team that we are ever expanding and changing and bringing more what do you call that, value to all the agents. Not only we bring the technology, but there must be a strategic approach in how we help agents understand and use the technology, right? That's important, right? In order for you to be a good technology company, you must always talk about things like key metrics, adoption, application, strategic improvisation. How do you add stuff? How do you key features change and be dynamic about it? So thank you for sharing. I'm going to start off the day this morning with Ashlynn. Actually, tell us a bit about your real estate business, because you are a real estate agent for how many years? 4 years, 5 years, right? You started at the age of 18, right? Now you are 25. Okay, so 5 years in real estate. And you were there before technology. You were there when we were not using technology. The only technology you were using, I'm assuming, and correct me, I'm wrong, Excel spreadsheet.
Yes.
That's about it, right? Tell us the difference between now and before.
I would say the entire process now is definitely more systematic, because those time sounds like I'm very old, but I'm not.
Yeah, she's very young only, by the way. She's very, very young only.
Because those days, things are all over the place and it's not systematic. So there are times where, it's just not that smooth as compared to right now. So it's very hard for me personally, to even scale my business. Yeah, so with the help of the technology, I'm very grateful. And today I can say that especially for KW Command, right, I've come to a point where I cannot live a day without KW Command. Yeah, so Siewmin was the first one who was actually kind of like introduced command to us agents. So I remember when it first started, right, I was actually part of the labs team as well. So I was the audience, the agent sitting down, and then Siewmin was teaching. So the first applet that was introduced to us was context. Yeah. So I started with that, and then I see how our KW command actually grow until right now, up until today, we have 10 applets. Yeah, and I would say that out of the 10 applets, I've pretty much used most of it, but there are a few applets that I am actively using that I can't live without, because I think in this season, they really helped me a lot. Yeah.
Right. So can you share with us what part of the technology had a direct impact in your business, right? Which part of the technology, which particular applet or applets that has a direct impact in your business before and now, like when you started and even now, which one impacted you and why do you think it impacted your business?
Okay. So I would say it's actually task and also opportunity. I know task, that applet sounds like so simple, right? But it's very powerful because in order for me, I personally has closed deal from KW campaign. But in order to close deal, right, you have to understand there are some process where you lead gen, and then you have to follow through with your task, and so also the people on daily or weekly basis, right, consistently. So I would say task, especially task, is the first thing that every single time when I sit down and when I log in my command, right, that's the first thing that I check. Yeah, who are the people that I need to follow up, and then eventually opportunities as well. So I would say, even though this task seems like very small, right, but this small win eventually leads to, it was more snowball into a big wins, because follow up, follow through, and follow back is part of the process in our business, in order for us to help us to close that deal from the moment we lead generate it. Yeah.
Right. So if I ask you to, if you don't mind sharing, if I ask you to show us your task right now, how would that look like? Right. So while waiting for Ashlynn to share, I let you choose. Either you share from mobile app, or you can share from your command screen. But it'll be interesting to see your mobile app, because that's something new right now. And while we are waiting for Ashlynn to share, I will go to Siewmin to ask this question, right? From the day we launched until now, what are some of your observations of how agents have pivoted and used our technology, and how has that helped them, based on your observations, Siewmin?
I think, wow, it has really changed. I think agents are getting a little bit more understanding on leveraging on technology, and that I think I also see agents who are willing to really give it a try. I think like from day one, it took a little while for agents to actually understand or actually do something about it. Probably because like it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like it's a lot. And then like I see like how we have like more agents using more like features in command. So I think usually the agent starts with one applet first. So whether they start with, for example, campaigns, they run Facebook ads there, or they start with designs, right? Designing some marketing collaterals there, or start with like, putting your context into context. And then they work with it. So typically, I think when we come to command, like everyone would think like, oh, it's very good. I want to use this and that and all that. I see that you show this. I want to use this. And then they are stuck at the point whereby they feel like it's very overwhelming. Like, will I be able to get to use all of them? Can I really be a tech-enabled agent? Can I really leverage my business on technology? I'm not tech savvy. So that's like some of the things that I heard like over time, still hearing sometimes. But I think like then I saw how people are starting to then just start with one. Instead of trying to do it perfectly, they start with one, and then and then I see how people are then starting to use like one by one. So I think the beginning is always hardest. And then once they go through that first time, they started using more, like sometimes without even having to go through a training or anything. They just started using it, and then they realized, oh, actually it's not as hard that I thought it is. It's not as scary as I thought it is. So I realized that agents have been more open to that. And after that, I see results. I see agents coming back to me and say, we're happy I've closed this deal from these leads, from the ads. I'm very happy I can upload my designs to the to campaign straight away, and then I managed to schedule posts from there. A lot more actually. So yeah.
Right. And in your stories, when you hear agents say that, hey, the tech has impacted me in my business, how do you see what in your observation to those agents, what are some of the changes that you can see in their business and the way they look at technology?
Definitely a lot more open to work on their business. I think there is like a more systemic approach now to the business. Before that, it might be a little bit more like all over the place. The agent will feel like, I'm busy, I have a lot of things on my plate. But if you really sit down and pinpoint and say, okay, what is, what are urgents? What do you need to do right now? That will help you to hit your goal. They will probably just feel like it's very overwhelmed, and it's just that I have a lot of things to do kind of feeling.
Right.
But it's very hard to pinpoint, right? But then after they are on like command, then I realized that actually they now can say, oh, I from these leads I follow up, and there's a clearer structure in terms of their workflow. They're able to tell me more. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to ask, and here is good. I hope Ashlynn is ready to show her task. Ashlynn, you can share your screen if you don't mind. I'm not sure whether from the mobile side or from the website. You decide. And that's just what Siewmin is talking about, right? I wake up in the morning, I on my command, and I know what I'm supposed to do. So Ashlynn, can you show us what you're supposed to do right now on command? Right. Okay. There you go.
So this is my screen and tasks that I do today. So I have at least 6. So every single time what happened is that after this, right, along the day, as you do more follow-ups, right, you will have more into your tasks as well. Yeah. And yeah. So usually these are the things that I would do. So always start with the task of the day first. And then after that, I'll move on to calling my new leads. And after that, I'll also go into my opportunity, because in the opportunity applets, they are different follow-up for clients that is in different stages. And I know that for opportunities is very important, because these are the leads who are actively looking to commit to buy something. Yeah.
So you know who you are supposed to follow up with. You know which relationship is more important than relationship that's not important. Because traditionally, a lot of agents wake up in the morning, let's just go blast someone and just find someone and to call and all that. And a lot of times we have so much relationship with so many people, we don't know who to start off the day with. We don't know who is more important to follow up. And suddenly we didn't realize, and it's too late, because suddenly the same project, the same property, or the same location, someone has called that client that you should have been following up, and then we just lost that client just like that, because we didn't have a perspective of where we are in terms of our relationship with the client. So do you think that's a fair statement, Ashlynn? Is that how your life has changed once you have used opportunities and tasks to the most effect, to the best you understand, to your knowledge right now?
Yes, definitely. And I like that even for the task, right, you can actually schedule, you can actually put the priority, whether this is a high priority, medium priority, or low priority. So you can actually sort it. Yeah, so let me give you an example. Okay, so for today, these are the tasks that I need to do, right? I can actually click here. So those high priority one will actually come up first before the medium one. You can see screen here.
Right. So William has got a very good question. You see, does command auto populate your task or you set it yourself? Both. Okay, can you share how does that look like? Can you just give a perspective today, an example of one contact that you set a task to and why you set the task to that way?
Okay, so basically in tasks, right, you can see that over here you can choose what are the tasks that are past due, due tomorrow, due next week, or just for today. And then here you have contact tasks and also opportunity tasks. So for for tasks, right, you can actually set it manually. Let's say if I go to that task applet, there are many ways for you to set a task, basically. So for example, this is how I manually do it. Let's say today I want to call Jonathan Lee. Okay, so I can set the priority high, medium, or low. So for example, high, you can even put more description. Let's say this is for certain property, you can actually write it. So over here, you can select the date and also the time. So probably, 5 o'clock today evening. And then you can even associate a contact. So for example, Jonathan Lee. So yeah, so I can just create a task. And let's say if I check due today, so these are my task called Jonathan Lee. Yeah, so you can actually check it here. So this is if you manually do it, but like, let's say if you run a smart plan, right? That smart plan, there's a combination of, it will help you to automate your email and also your text. It will also send you a reminder. The reminder will come up in your task and it will remind you, okay, so today you need to call this person. So it's actually from your smart plan. So it will be on your contact task as well. And we have another task that is called the opportunity task. And you know that in opportunity, as you follow up, you can also set a due date and time. Yeah.
Right. So one of the things that I can think of right now is today, if I got a call from someone, let's say I advertise on the property portal, and someone called me, and the phone number is now on my mobile phone, which I now, through my command app, can save that phone into command straight away, right? And then from command, I can, on my web, I can then set tasks on command. Are we able to set tasks on the mobile app right now, Ashlynn?
I'll do a demo.
Right, don't worry, keep the questions coming, guys. We'll be answering the questions one by one as we move forward. But the first question that William asked was a good question. Does it populate your task? Which you can, if you're using a smart plan, it will auto-populate your tasks, or you can set it yourself, right? So Ashlynn, whenever you're ready. You're muted.
Sorry, I'll share screen now. Okay. So for example, this one, right? Let's say, okay, this is my new lead. So I can actually call, okay, or I can actually set a task from here. Let's say after you call, you want to set a task from here, you can do it now. So it's the same thing, yeah. And then after that, you click save. Yeah.
Right. So after the phone call with the client, that called you, you add that person in the command, and immediately now you can set a task saying that, hey, send details of this property by when, or whatever the task is. Guys, it's as simple as that, because that's the first step when you want to manage your time properly, to know what's important and what's not important. And I think it's a behavioral change. That simple thing that Ashlynn just shared just now. Actually, you might going back again to that screen. Might be too quick for them to see. So can you just add the task again? Can you go to the point where you want to add tasks?
Yeah, so you will see there's notes and tasks, right? So notes can be, okay, so after that conversation, you can basically just key in you go through some lead analysis, right? So you find out the planets. So task is what's your next course of action? Because you may on the go, so client ask me to send something, but you may be, like in the process of doing other things. So you can actually set a task so that it will remind.
Right. So the task name, can you just enter the task name? Can you just say send information of five other listings, right? And 5 other listings. Then maybe in the description you can say unit A, unit B, unit C, unit D, right? That's the description, right? And the due date, let's say, is by tomorrow morning, right? You can put the due date tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So
right,
you can uncheck this one so that you can select that time. Let's say tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, right, AM, confirm. And hyperlink is like, let's say if you have that link of that listing, right? Yeah, you can just key in here. So if it's a call task, you can actually mark as a call task, because you will also have that ability to select whether you want to follow up your call task first or any other task. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's, you just put hold the picture there for a while. Actually, that's an example of how you guys now, all of us now have command on mobile that can help us solve the number one problem. Number one problem is, I always say, real estate agent got something called memory problem. Right? Doesn't matter what age you are in. You are 5 years old, 25 years old, 35 years old, 55 years old, 105 years old. You cannot trust your memory. Now, when you're on the go and on the fly, after the phone conversation, in 10 seconds, 20 seconds, you can just do this. And guess what? Make a behavior at the end of the day, check what's the task due tomorrow. Or check end of the day today, what's the task due today. Now, that's one simple thing that the tech now has just enabled you to remember, right? Enable you to remember, to understand, or set an appointment, viewing appointment. You can put it there. Set a viewing appointment. You can, whatever it is that you do, this should be your number one thing that you do on your mobile app right now. In my opinion, as an agent, right? How many of you are seeing this as an opportunity for you to be tech enabled to make sure that you don't lose opportunity? If you believe that's the case, please put in the chat box right now. What do you all think after seeing that simple action step that Ashlynn done? It's very simple thing, that whatever you come up with your context that you have, it is to help you remember what you're supposed to do tomorrow. Absolutely right. It's like your personal assistant right now. It's digitized, it's simple, it reminds you of what you are supposed to do. You just have to go check it every day. Right? Can do immediate action. Absolutely right. Right. So actually, when you see this like this, right, when you work on tasks this way, compared to going back to the web app that you used to have right now, that we used to use 100% around, now we've got a mobile app. What's the difference? Share with us, what's the difference?
The difference is on the go. So because mobile is really very light, right? So anytime, even if you are inside a car, waiting for traffic at a traffic light, you can even take it out, yeah, and just check it. Yeah, because there are tasks that different tasks that you need to do at different time, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11. Yeah, so it helps you. So you have that option. You don't need to have sit in front of the computer all day. Yeah.
Right. Can you go back to your main screen just now, the main screen, as in the main dashboard? Right. If you look at the main dashboard, you can see what's due today, what's due soon, what's past due. You now go in there and say, you actually have 7 things that you're supposed to do first right now. In fact, you have 3 that is not done yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's so if you wake up in the morning and you see this thing on your screen, that's what you need to focus on and do. And this is what Siewmin just mentioned just now. Now I have clarity on what I need to do so that I don't lose sight of what I'm supposed to do, right? So actually, besides this task management and also opportunities, what else has impacted you in your business from the technology standpoint?
I would say Command has helped me in the lead generation as well, because we know that as a real estate agent, lead generation is the number one thing that we need to do, right? So it has really helped me in my own business. Yeah.
Right. It has helped you in your own business, and you have helped generated leads for you. And you are using a lot of campaigns right now, I understand. Like, how many campaigns do you drive a week?
Talking about in my business?
Yes, in your business.
In my business, about 2-3 concurrently. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many leads you generate a week from command itself?
For me, because I do my own and also I also leverage on others. Yeah, so on my side, per week, I'm very clear that I need to have at least 16 leads for myself. Yeah.
Right. Can you show us that dashboard on the leads that come into your command mobile? I just want to let everyone see that, you know, the part on your mobile app where you can see the notification.
Okay, just give
Yeah.
me a-
I just want everyone to take a look of how command has helped. So there's, you can see the leads here, right? Guys, you can see these are all the leads that's being generated every day into Ashlynn's mobile app, right? How many of your business right now is reliance on this lead generation? How much of the business is reliant on your lead generation right now?
I would say pretty much majority of it.
Right. And currently all your transaction is based on the lead you generate from command campaigns.
About I would say 40% from command campaigns. Some are from portals and also referral or existing SOI.
Existing SOI, referrals, portals, and 40% is about from command campaigns where the leads comes in and notify you automatically. Before command had that notification function on mobile, like what's the difference between now and then? How has that changed the way you run the business on command with the mobile app right now?
With that mobile app right now, I think mobile app is something that we always look forward to. And I think it really helps me a lot because right now, the moment, you know, when I wake up the first thing in the morning, when I haven't really wake up out of my bed, right? I can first then go into command and check what are the tasks that I need to do, how many leads that have already come in. So it helped me to prepare better. Yeah, compared to previously, okay, I have to, you know, get myself prepared and then sitting down, open up the computer. Yeah. So
Right.
it's like anytime, any day. So before I sleep also, I can actually check it first. Yeah, just to
Right.
get myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Does all your leads that you generate from campaigns right now, do you automate smart plan when the lead comes in?
Yeah, so I would say smart plan is something that I am actually working on, even though I've already used pretty much of the applets here, right? But smart plan is really in my list that I would say right now is a very high priority thing that I need to use it in a more intensively. Reason because I've come to a point where, yeah, I cannot manage my lead. Yeah. So, and also I know that smart plan because you also, yes, it's called a smart plan, but I also have to be very intentional. Who are the people that will fall into this, you know, quarterly or monthly or weekly? Yeah. So
Right.
there's a way to structure it. So there's really something that is on my pipeline right now. Yeah.
Right.
I did run smart plan, but I need to run it in a, you know, higher intensity.
Right. So basically you're generating leads to a level that it's hard for you to follow up manually already. Now you're thinking of how to digitally use smart plan to follow through in a more intensive and intentional way, which you are now learning that process. You're still figuring out what's the best process. Thank you for sharing. Siewmin, when we look at all this progress that we have seen so far, right? The big questions that people always ask is that I'm an agent. This technology is an international technology, is an American technology, right? But then you can see here, Ashlynn is working on it at a very high level. We can see she's completely reliant on command to run her business right now. Pretty much so. I mean, the only thing that is not command is a mobile phone, right? Like the mobile phone is the only part that is not a command technology, that is a Samsung or Apple technology, right? But how do you then reconcile with some thoughts that people say that our technology is not localized, is not ready for Malaysian market? Can you comment a little bit on that?
I think the first question to ask is, have you logged into command and take a look before we make that statement? Yeah, that's I think first. And with regards to like it's a US technology, the thing about that is that I don't think technology belongs to a country in that sense. Like for example, Google is, you can say Google is from the US, for example. You can say Facebook is from the US, right? We didn't have to go through a training to learn how to use Google or how to use Facebook, or how to use Instagram, so to speak. We pick it up, right? And I don't think we also go through a training on how to use our phone, how to use an Apple phone, how to use an Android phone when you change phone, right? You start picking it up and then you start using it. And whether your phone is made in China, technology from US or technology from Canada, you used it, right?
Right.
I don't think we have a Buatan Malaysia phone also. We have, I think maybe, but
Right.
yeah, the truth in that is that when you start using it, you might give me a different kind of comment. Yeah,
Yeah.
not sure if I understand, answer your question on that.
Yeah, I think it's a mindset shift where we think that in order for us to use the technology for our business in Malaysia, it must be a Malaysianized technology. And I argue not necessary. And I argue that technology should be universal and global right now. If you want to use technology, it should be universal and global. And to think that technology must only be fit for this country and this culture, I don't think that's a great technology. My opinion. I just think my opinion, because it is a limiting technology. Because of the way we design the technology in Keller Williams, it has impact and input from the worldwide community. Like you and I sit on the council of us saying that, hey, we need to do this, we need to bring this in, right? Someone's just asking, hey, is Google Ads coming soon? Like, are we working on things that will be impactful for our region and our country, right? And so I think you will agree that we are now working on that direction and we have that opportunity to do that. But we must always understand that the person or the people that should lead the technology journey is the one that is the most advanced one. Like you need to have people who really use technology at a very high level to lead us and bring it down to us so that we then have better impact. Can you imagine a company that has never used technology for real estate before and they're trying to teach you how to use technology? So we are now with the world number one who has been using technology all the past 5-10 years, and they have now refined the technology for the agents in the US and Canada and now moving up to the whole world. We are being led with that movement. I will bet on that anytime versus a Malaysian born. No, I'm not saying Malaysian born is not good. I'm not saying it's not great, but I would think that people who have used it for more than 5-10 years in the world of technology and CRM versus people who are using Excel spreadsheet here, I would bet on the people that are using CRM for a very long time because they come with experience and expertise. Siewmin, do you think there's something fair to say?
Yeah, I just want to add on to that. Actually, what happened is that this command that you are seeing is not it's not like we built from Excel file kind of understanding. They actually built it based on a CRM understanding, meaning to say that how should I put this? Let me think. Okay, meaning to say that the CRM, it is like command context that you are seeing, right? It's actually an enhanced CRM. So it's just like how we use Excel is a bad example, but let me just use Excel as an example. How you are used to using Excel, right? They talk to the agents, how they have been using Excel, and then they make Excel in a digitized format, and then they make it easier. They make it speak to one another, so that the technology is a better and greater leverage for the agent. So that is how it started and how it already have evolved by now. That is the technology. It's that it is actually based on working CRMs that the agents are already using. So it's not like they build it from scratch, and it's not that this is a technology company who actually built their own tech and then they're trying to get used to use it. It's not like that. It's actually the real estate agents coming together with the technology company and they build this together. It's very different. And why do I say it's very different and unique in that sense? Is because you probably won't find another real estate company who built their own technology.
Right. Right. And the reason is because it's not easy to build your own technology.
It's also very costly to do that.
Right. And
Yeah.
also to think from an agent standpoint and the technology standpoint to merge that thought together, right? No company has done it. So a lot of companies out there in our country today, and I give them credit for pursuing technology, but they can only pursue from the point of using a third-party application and try to get the agent to fit to that technology. But over here, the technology is always trying to understand what the agent needs and try to fit to the agent. But the agent needs to understand as well the basic stuff, like just what I demoed together with Ashlynn just now about the task versus contact, right? That's a very simple thing that I think most CRM don't have right now. I can almost argue that any real estate CRM in our country do not have that simple thing that just Ashlynn just shared with you. They just don't have. They just don't have that right now. But it's so simple, right? We can think about it. So because of the intuitiveness of the way we use the technology with our business, it was thought from an agent standpoint, not from the technology standpoint. So we must understand this very, very importantly. So Siewmin, moving forward, as we move forward, I think what are some of the examples if you share with us of some of the things that we are working with KW Worldwide very, very tightly and very, very intimately in introducing new potential features or new things that may help localize for our region. What are some of those things that you share with us?
Oh. You're getting a first dip today.
Right.
Okay, so I think on a higher level, that is, we're working on translation. That means using command in your own language. That is what we call localization, right? You are using command now, not in just English, but potentially in like a Chinese, in Malay, right? That's translation. We're working on features that is built for teams. So platform owners, take note, because we're gonna build features that will around that, or it's not building, actually it's already there. We're working to fine-tune and refine it so that it fits us, so that it works for us. So we go through a process to actually do that. So to localize the tag, to make sure that the tag is relevant and useful for you. And we really don't try to fit you to the tag in that sense. We're working on something about listings. So the listing applets that you already have right now, it will be enhanced. More than that, sorry, there's actually quite a number of things that we're working on. I'm super excited, and I'm also trying to see one major thing that will be released soon is context. So is to actually enhance your process in uploading your current context from your Excel file to command. So that is something that it should be released very soon. It's something that is in the pipeline right now. So I think what you can expect is like updates on existing features, new release on new features that will help you in your business. Yeah.
Right. I think what Siewmin was mentioning, for example, is a contact wizard.
Yeah, it is.
A wizard that will help organize your contact without you following the format of the upload format that we have. There's something that's going to change.
So without you having to download the Excel file in that format, and then re-upload that. Yeah.
Right.
So that will change.
Right. That will change. There will be a contact wizard where you would then reprogram whatever contact you have to fit into command from the thing. So I'm going to leave it there for now because it's kind of difficult to explain and I don't want to say the wrong thing, right? And you are going to hear translations, right? Our goal is by next year, sometime next year, that if you choose to use command in Bahasa Melayu, you can. If you so choose to use command in Mandarin, you can. I think Mandarin Bahasa Melayu is the two language translation that we are working with them right now.
Yeah.
Let's automate it and then you can shift that so that for those who are more comfortable with the Bahasa Melayu approach in command, there you go. So you can, and Mandarin as well. So that's really how we move forward in localization. and getting more features. And someone was asking Google Contacts, Google Ads search, Google Ads, right? That's something that we are also working on to bring that into the region of Malaysia very soon as well. Right, guys, when you hear that, those things, how excited you are? If you're excited, please press 5. Yeah, or 1% excited, or say awesome. So we're going to have a lot of new features moving forward in 2022 and beyond, as the technology roadmap is in the process of being discussed on a weekly, monthly basis with all regions, right? So these are some of the things that we have. Wait, I'm going to move on to Ashlynn again. I'm going to go back to Ashlynn. Now, Ashlynn, based on your current experience with the Command Mobile, let's spend some time on the Command Mobile app right now. Why, if I'm an agent right now, why should I be excited?
Why should you be excited? Because I believe all the small tasks that you do, right, eventually it will snowball, and that's how you achieve your closing. Yeah, how you get your closing or even converted. It's really in the small little things that I do lah. Yeah, to help me to move myself into another stage of my business.
Right. Now, if I'm right now an agent that I have not really used technology or command right now, and I run a fairly successful business, and I'm busy, right? And I'm very busy with a lot of things I'm doing right now, but I see you, I look at the way you're running command right now. Now, how many of you, if you saw how Ashlynn used a command, when you grow up, you want to be like Ashlynn. If you want to be like Ashlynn, please type the word ASH. If you want to grow and become like Ashlynn, please type ASH. Right? Please put it there. I think 2%. Right. Okay. So a lot of people want to become like you, right? So now, if I'm struggling in terms of my time, I'm busy, I have a very successful business, but I don't know where to start. How do I start? What do I start with, Ashlynn? Share with us. What do we start? How do we start?
Yeah, then I would say it's very important for you yourself to ask yourself this question. So what is your biggest pain point in your business? Because different agent has different pain point. So are you struggling with lead generation, or are you struggling with follow-up? Yeah, are you struggling to remember a lot of things? Yeah.
Right.
So are you struggling to manage your sales pipeline? You have a lot of appointments, leads that you need to follow up. So where are you in your business right now? Yeah. So always start with asking yourself this question. Yeah.
Right. And those are the few questions I think most of us are either all in those areas. And the first thing is, am I struggling with lead generation, right? Let's put that down as first. So lead generating could mean I'm struggling to generate leads for listings or buyers, right? Two things, right? So if I'm struggling for that, which applet is available for me to use right now that will help me in my lead generation, Ashlynn?
Yeah. So for lead generation, we have campaign. All right. Yeah. So campaign, you can do Facebook and also Instagram campaign, the paid one, or you want to schedule a post on your Facebook page, business page, you can do that as well. Yeah. So that's for lead generation.
Right. And also, do you think Contacts also be an app, because I can start putting my SOI there and put them in a smart plan?
Oh yes, definitely. And yeah, Contacts.
Right. So, and then the second thing was tasks, right? You are saying tasks to remind me of what I'm supposed to do, right? That would be tasks, right? The first thing was lead generation. Second thing was reminding what you're supposed to do. What else was I lost count already? I'm sorry.
Follow up.
Follow up, great, follow up. So tell us which app will help you to work on follow up.
Yeah, so follow up, you have your short term, mid term, or long term one, right? So follow up as in for your active leads that about to close really in the next few weeks or 1 to 2 months, right? Then that is really in your opportunity pipeline. Monitor your sales pipeline and consider follow up as well. Tasks also help you in a way for follow up. So for mid to long term nurture, right? You let the smart plan do the follow up for you, right? Yeah.
Right. And okay, after follow up, what else is the other problem? What else problem potentially I could have?
What other problems do you guys have? Maybe you all can comment, then we'll see how we can actually.
Right. Good one. So what other pain points that you have in your business right now? Put in the chat box if you have 1 or 2 pain points in your business campaign for leads. Okay, great. What are the pain points that you have right now besides lead generation, besides follow-up? What are the pain points that you have right now? Please put that in the chat box right now. Let's just explore together as a team in terms of your journey. Don't be shy, right? Let's share with us what are the challenges that you go through in your business that you feel that you are struggling, and potentially technology may have that answer for that challenge right now. Please put in the chat box, right? Everyone put in the chat box. I like Francis. Francis, it's better to check on FB instead of checking on FB, we should check on command. It's more exciting to see leads coming in than see what your friends are eating every morning. Yeah, I agree. Don't know how much to spend on command paid FB campaigns, right? What else? What are some of the challenge and the pain points that you have in your business that you think you can use technology to solve those problems? I think number one is I always feel that this is the number one issue that most agents don't realize is the power and the value they have in their database. Like the power and the value you have in your database. So if you have your top 100 or 200 people in your SOI, your sphere of influence, or your database, right, in campaign, right, can you imagine what you can do with it in your database? So the question I challenge everyone to think about, who's your top 100, top 50, top 200 people that you must absolutely stay in relationship with that will give you referrals and new businesses? They should be your priority in putting them into context. Right, that's the first thing. Anyone else? Anyone's got any other challenges that you have in your business that we may able to solve and help you point you to the area of technology where it could help you in your business? Any possible to do physical training session for command? Yeah, coming soon. Hang on, coming soon. Right. Someone was asking this question just now. Is there a resource that we can go to learn command from A to Z? Is there a resource? Is there videos or trainings that we can access to? Anyone got any answers to that, Ashlynn or Siewmin?
Yes, we don't lack resources. We always say that. So let me just share with you. Yeah, I think I already prepared that. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, we have this very useful link, which is called answers.kw.com. It's the answer to all your anything related to KW tech. So for example, right now here, for example, command, right? So know that command, there are a lot of applets. We have the context, we have the opportunities, we have that task, we have that design. Yeah, so just take some time to just, let's say you have issue with context. There are so many articles over here where you can just click inside it, and then you just, so there are a lot of links, very helpful links for you here. Or you can even type here, you search here, all right? Okay, so this is a very useful link. So whenever I have any issue with, okay, I wanted to use this certain applet, learn certain applet in command, but I don't know how to do that. So here, there are always, there are a lot of very useful articles where it literally teach you step by step. And it's a very useful and very simple one because, just a very brief, line, and then there's screenshot. So it's very clear and very straightforward. And then other than that, actually, we also have a lot of trainings. Are you guys seeing my screen at YouTube?
Yes, we are seeing your screen.
So Redfield Properties are powered by KW Malaysia. Over here, if you click that, this is the home, right? And then videos, and you can actually click playlist. So you can actually click, we have also a lot of international trainings. So over here, right, you can see that there are some of the trainings that are related to tech as well, KW Command as well. You just have to search for it. And third one, I would say, I like this one, Marty Miller. So I actually subscribe to him, and you can see that when I go to his playlist, right, I like it because he basically cover all the things that you need to learn about KW Command. Yeah, so you can actually just click inside, right? So for example, this is KW.
Your idea is waiting to be seen.
And you would notice that all his videos, I like it because it's so straight to the point. It's all 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. yeah, it's so very useful and straightforward. So for those of you who ask any resources to teach us how to learn it right from the beginning until the end, you can learn it from there as well. And at the same time, also, this is something that the regional team is working on, because, you know, we do have a lot of trainings that is on the international level by KWRI and also worldwide. On the regional level, we are also on and off. We'll be conducting a lot of workshop or even training. Even your market center level also, we will be having ongoing training on tax, basically on weekly basis. So what happened is that right now we are in the midst of having compiling all the resources here. It's called a KW Malaysia Tech Kit. So this is actually a work in progress now. So everything related to tech, you know, we have command, we have edge prop, and then even for command, right, we have the beginning, we have the more advanced session one. So some of the international training that we conducted previously, we'll also put it here. All right. And like, let's say, I would also encourage all of you to be part of a community. So if you're on Facebook, please go to this command, your conversion. There are a lot of 39,000 KW associate over here. Yeah, so you will get to learn a lot of things about command over here as well. And last but not least, please go to your workplace and KW Command community. So we have the community here as well. So you can always give your feedback or just post things or look up for our updates over here as well. Yeah, so yeah. So these are the resources.
Yeah, I hope everyone is looking at that. There's a lot of resources. And do check with your market center, director of agent services, of which day your market center have trainings or tech workshops. But there are a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. I think the important thing is to ask yourself this question, like what Ashlynn just asked you all. What is that one thing in your business that if you change that one thing, everything else will be better? What's the number one pain point? Don't try to understand and use the whole command entirely in one day. It's not going to work that way. Start from where the pain points it is. And a lot of people that I talk to, the number one problem is I don't have enough leads in my business. So let me just share with you this is what Gary Keller tells us all. In reality, there will never be enough leads. This is a constant issue that all agents at all levels will face. There's always not enough leads. So the challenge for us to have this mindset, there's always insufficient leads, therefore we ever need to generate leads all the time. So if lead generation is your number one problem, go and look at how to use your database to generate leads that doesn't cost you money through smart plans, or run campaigns on Facebook that will generate leads. Those are your, that could be the number one issue. The other part is could be, I don't know how to manage my database and my tasks, right? So that's where you go into contacts and tasks, right? So these are all the stuff that I think you need to think about learning how to leverage on the technology, right? The command training for console is invalid. Yes, we don't have KW Connect access right now for this point at this point in time. Go to the resources that Ashlynn has just showed you. I think Marty Miller is the best resource because I think Marty Miller's resource is much more simpler, straightforward, and you can learn a lot of stuff inside there. I would suggest Marty Miller. He's been a good friend to us. I'm helping us to understand how to do this very well. So he's a cool guy. So watch that video on Marty Miller. I think you will find more information there than the official Connect one because he has approached it by training agents. He has understand what works and what doesn't work, right? So use that. Right, great. When you all listen to this conversation between Ashlynn and Siewmin today, what are some of your ahas? What are some of your ahas or questions that you have about technology right now? How many of you are motivated to consider doing something about technology this week? How many of you are doing? How many of you are thinking about doing something about your tech this week, in your business this week? Put in the chat box right now. Right. So my first question to everyone is this: if you have downloaded the command app, type 1. If you have not downloaded the command app, type 2. All right. Who has downloaded the command app, type 1. Who have not downloaded the command app, type 2. Right. What's your support? I would ask you to post the links for the app for command for both iOS and also what do you call it, Android. Please post it on the chat box right now, so that all of us at least download it. The progress that you can do today is, number one, download the app. Number two, log into the app. And number three, start thinking about how to use today's leads that you generated on command. Now, don't think about so far ahead about the 10,000 leads that you have or that 1,000 phone numbers that you have, right? Don't think about so far. Think about today. Think about starting from today when a phone call comes into you from whatever sources that you have, then how you add that lead into command as a database and how you use it to remind you in your tasks. It can be as simple as that. Not as daunting as let's figure out how to use my 1,000 database. Right? Let's talk about moving forward from today. Now, I started the day this morning with how many things have you progressed this year, right? I challenge everyone in this group today. If you can think about using command or the technology that we have, start small, and that is a small progress for you. Think about that as a progress for your business right now. How many of you would do something with your business on technology starting from today? Put yes on the chat box if you are. Right. So yes, thank you very much. So you say yes, you have to. And the goal is when you do this, you are just getting one step ahead of your competitor that is not doing it. If you're in the same market, in the same location, you must have the vision that you are ahead of your competitor by doing this, because you have a systematic way to do it. They don't. So now the power is in your hands to do something about it right now. Right? That's the technology that works. Right. Ashlynn and Siewmin, any last thought that you have before I will close the session? Any last thought you want to share, a last advice to the agents who are listening today? Maybe I start with Siewmin. What are some of your last advice, last thoughts for the agent?
I think to me is really just do what Ashlynn said. Find your pain point and start somewhere. The first step might be, you might feel like you might have to spend a bit more time on the first time, but after that you will be the tech-enabled agent, and then you might be the one who is able to actually teach people. It's not as hard as you might have think it is. Don't think I'll start perfectly. Start with one thing. Yeah.
Right. Start simple, small. Start with one thing that will help you move forward. Like riding a bicycle, yes. If you know what's bicycle, everyone knows bicycle, right? Okay, just in case. Okay, 12 days to Xmas Day. Do something before Christmas. Okay, right. Ashlynn, what's your last advice to all of us here today?
Yeah, I would just say take baby step lah. So maybe right now you all can share what's the one outlet or one thing that you would immediately start with in common right now. I think that would be very great. Yeah. So also I guess whether you use or you don't use technology, right, there will be pain. So you choose what kind of pain that you want. I think John will elaborate a lot better on that. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. And I want to just piggyback on what Ashlynn has said, that there is a pain of not using technology and there's a pain of using technology. The pain of not using technology would be 1 to 2 years down the road, you realize all your competitors are ahead and you're behind. It's very painful to catch up with them. It's very, very painful. That's a different kind of pain. And that pain would be you start realizing that you're losing market share, you're losing control over your database because someone has a better control of database in that location, from listings to buyers. And they respond faster because they have the ability or they figure out how to do it better with technology or with people. So that's the pain. The pain of learning to use technology now is you will sit down and sometimes you feel that you are not very smart, and it's okay. You will figure out later because we are all doing this together. We are all working on this together. But the pain would be you will start opening up and you don't know where to start and you feel lost. You feel a little bit not as smart as most people, and that's okay because all of us are learning and coming from different perspectives and positions and different seasons of life. But the benefit is we have resources, we have communities, we have people around you that will support you and lean in together with you. So choose the pain that you want, but eventually you've got to face that pain. You cannot run away from pain. My last thought for everyone before we close today is this. Now, someone was asking me over the weekend, hey, how come our technology is so changgay, so good, and supposed to be very nice, got application, got web-based and all that, but not winning any awards? And I tell people today, our focus is not about telling people how great our technology is. Our focus is helping people with technology to do their business. And I shared with that person over a text message. I said this. I said the best award this company can get is when you use the technology and it changes your business. If you send me a message and send all of us a message and say, hey, today I managed to contact 5 contacts. I remembered 5 contacts, 5 tasks because I just did what Ashlynn showed me. That is an award for me, for us in our organization. The award we get is when you are able to change your life with the technology in your business. And I don't need to tell anyone about it. I just need to tell myself and tell you guys how to make it work. That's the best award we can have. It's a different perspective. We will continue to drive the adoption and the localization of this technology to your benefit so that you will have an impact in your business. I want to hear more people like Ashlynn. If everyone grow up and become like Ashlynn, then that's the best award for me. That's the best award for this organization because it has helped you to do your business well. That's our focus, and you'll be very clear about how we do our business. It's not to tell the whole world how great we are, it's to help you to have greater businesses. That's our award, right? So with that, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are running a bit over time, so thank you so much for being here. Ashlynn and Siewmin, thank you for joining us today and sharing this moment with us. Now, if you ever want to watch this video again, please feel free to go to the YouTube links and you can watch this video again so that it will help you understand. Now, if you have known someone in our organization that has not yet downloaded the app or not yet understand or did not come to this session, please share with them this link. I think this is a very important session to share with the entire organization. And if you're not downloaded the app, please go download the app right now. All right, it's there and it's very powerful. You will be surprised with the small things that you can do that will impact the big things. With that, thank you very much, guys. Have a good rest of the week. I'll see you next round. Thank you so much.